It is 6 o'clock, so I will call this meeting to order. Our district mission: together we engage, educate, and empower all learners, bridging their passions to pathways to create successful futures and positively contribute to our local and global communities. Is there a motion to approve our agenda tonight?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving forward for our public comment, we do have some public comment, and then we'll also use our public comment time for our school district board for elections tomorrow. Our opinions and ideas contributed by students, parents, staff, and other citizens are valuable to the school board. The board will receive such input without comment or take no action relative to any items brought forth. They may direct the district administrator to consider such an item at an appropriate place on the agenda or a subsequent meeting. The board has set aside 20 minutes for the purpose. Please limit comments to 3 minutes. And I have those names. Also include the following information: your name, address, group representative, any, and item or concern to be addressed. So Travis, we'll start with you. And Matt will start your time.
I'll give you a heads up as you get close.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello, my name is Travis Schochner. I live at 2116 54th Street, and I'm going to be talking about the book review that's going on. I heard that there are some books that are being reviewed, and although I do agree with the sentiment that there is some material at a high school level that should not be on our shelves, none of the books that are currently on this list are ones that should even be considered. These are good books. I am proud that our school system and its staff have been doing a good job in keeping the books I'm thinking of, though, out of our libraries. They are maintaining a library that has a broad range of subjects, viewpoints, and opinions, and their professional understanding of the materials seems to be missing from this discussion. I just want to thank them for maintaining a high level of dignity, despite the fact that fearful parents are worried that their young adults are attending and have access to this material. I'm constantly told by cowards and fearful individuals that I need to do my own research. As someone completing their doctorate, I know that these people don't actually know what this entails, but I did some anyways. The list of books is literally pulled from an extreme far right-wing hate group that is based out of Florida. A group that has recently put out a statement complaining that our nation's schools need to stop teaching empathy. Empathy is a cornerstone of nearly every religious teaching and one of the 3 pillars of a small town community, along with honesty and compassion. It is a weak will that complains about the development of empathy in times of prosper, then complains about not receiving it in a time of need. But that is not the best part of this whole thing. Again, this was an extreme far right-wing hate group based out of Florida, and Florida is demonstratively the worst state that this or any school board in the nation should model any K through 12 policy after. It has the worst learning retention and regression rate in the nation. It is a perfect example of how voucher schools fail taxpayers, families, and children, and the dedication of policymakers to proudly fail those families and children would be breathtaking if it wasn't so pathetic.
20 seconds.
All I am asking is that our board, our school system, and you, all of us here, not be influenced by the ideals and policies of fearful parents, documented hate groups, and a state that is utterly failing its future youth. I don't think this is too much to ask for. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Okay. Moving on. Gary, you're at the top of my list, so I'll have you start us out. And we'll follow the same as far as 3 minutes.
I'll give you a heads up about
Okay.
40 seconds.
Will we be entertaining questions from the audience at the end?
No.
From your explanation at the beginning, I thought that that was likely not to be the case.
Thank you.
Okay, my name's Gary Hansen, running for the Somerset School Board. The Somerset Board comprises the village and the town of Somerset, Holton portion of St. Joseph, Star Prairie, and New Richmond. I've been a resident of the area for 41 years. I am 68 years of age. I'm a retired business owner. I did automated bakery equipment for large automated bakeries, Satterley, Baker Square, as well as a number of others. Before that, I was at 3M for 20 years. I'm a holder of 8 patents and 30-some foreign patents. But all these items are on the blurbs that we have through the Spartan and as well as from our pages. So I won't take up the valuable time here going through that. The aspects of why I'm running to give the people a choice. We have a lot of issues, as Travis mentioned. We have the issue of the library items. I understand that there were 33 books that were actually in our library. And I know that I did a little bit of research also, and I did look at a couple of them, and they did have some sexually explicit. The number of the other ones I didn't really have any kind of issue with. To me, it should be more up to the librarian to be policing and keeping things that are questionable on a restricted shelf. So those particular issues come into play. As far as why you should vote for me, especially as I've made no secret that I am opposed to the school referendum. I think I'm the only one of the 4 candidates that are running that has spoke on it.
20 seconds.
We have an issue with the consultant has told the board that we need to try to get this to pass, and
Just let you finish up.
okay, we need to get this referendum to pass. Your consultant, your survey and your committee told you that you had to come in significantly under $22 million. And we all know you came in at 22.9. And even if you come into that particular amount, it's going to be about a 50-50 issue of it passing. So you need somebody that on the board that is to bring credibility if this fails and we have to come back to another referendum. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Kristen.
All right. Kristen Cisco. I'm running for school board. My page, as Gary had said, is also on the Spartan Scoop, and I have Cisco for Somerset School Board at Gmail, and also the Facebook, so you can get all my background there. Just to, in the respect of time, I'm running for school board because in the last couple of years, I think everywhere, all schools are facing lots of issues. I think it can be broken down really easily into fear. People are living in fear, they're responding out of fear, in every situation, in every way. We are a society that is stuck in fight or flight. I don't think it's a political issue. I really don't. I think it is people that are scared. They're nervous. They need control back in their life, and they need to be heard. If I'm to get on the school board, I think everybody has a voice. Everybody has a place at the table. Everybody deserves to have their opinion and have an idea that can be heard. However, it needs to come to a place where people can work together, people can compromise, we can get back to life where we're not constantly living in fear. I think there's some easy steps towards that with transparency, talking issues out, starting from the bottom up, taking issues directly to the person that you feel like you have them with. What works for one person does not work for another, does not work for another, does not work for another, and that's okay. It is okay to live with differences, and that is what we need to be teaching our kids, our teachers, our school board, our administration. It is okay to have these differences, and we need to get back to that.
Thank you. Thank you. Ian?
Ian McDonald, 466 Abbey Lane. I'm also running for school board. I feel like everything's been covered 1,000 times, but like the others have said, all the information about me is available on my Facebook page. So I guess I just kind of put out where I've been for the last year. Had a lot of parental involvement, which is great. I've been available to the community. A lot of people have reached out with questions about how to navigate our website, to look at our school report card and what things mean, navigating our policies. I'm also happy to help anybody do that. It is complicated. Having been on the policy committee for the last year, I have a pretty good understanding of what they are, having reviewed many of them. Not as good as Lori. We've hired a new district administrator. The attitude in the building are really good. I guess my favorite part of being on the board so far has been our presentations from the teachers and the students. A lot of good things happening, and it's just fun to watch. It's more of a personal thing, but I guess also, I know our teachers feel maybe less than appreciated, so I would like to thank them for everything they're doing, and the administrators. A few loud voices on social media don't equal the totality of our community. And I would like to continue working collaboratively with our board and move the district in a positive direction.
Thank you, Ian. Bruce?
All right, Bruce Blargen. I live at 2286 County Road I in Somerset. I have all my information out on the scoop, and I hope that you've either looked at that or watched the meeting from the Chamber of Commerce last week. Please watch those videos. If you haven't, please reach out to me in the next 24 hours before you vote if you have additional questions. Like I said in all these, I have 2 children who will be in this district. The second one very soon, so I have a vested interest in what goes on here for a long time to come. I'm involved with the board because I believe in public education. I had a strong, powerful experience in Somerset as a student, and I want other students to have that same experience. I'm giving back, hoping our current youth and our current students will want to come back and be a part of this community and school as well. As been a board member, I believe I do ask difficult questions. I don't back down to challenges, but I also work as a team. I don't come in here with a mind made up on what decision I'm going to make. I am open to listening to the board members, to the administrators, to the teachers who are presenting on these topics. But when we make these decisions, I'm always thinking about how this affects the students and put the students first, and also our district. I know we have big issues with our budget, and we're already working through that, and I know going forward with the uneasiness and we don't know what the state's gonna give us. We have to be prepared. We're in new times, new territory. Usually we knew what we were getting. We're not getting that anymore. We have to plan ahead and then make our decisions. I am for the referendum. I hope that we pass this referendum, and when we do, I will be on that construction committee and work to keep those budgets tight, just like last time. We got more out of the referendum than we even presented the first time. So I'm a big supporter of that, and I will be a part of that team to make sure that our architect and construction manager do the best for our school and our district. I know the growth and scores are a huge portion, and I plan to work. We already have those as goals and continue to work forward. I'm not going to tell teachers how to teach, though. I'm not going to tell administrators how to run their building. You know, they know what's best. I used to have a teacher, he would sit in, Mr. Walker would turn hockey on for the first 5 minutes of class while I handed back papers.
20 seconds.
All right, and then he would hand back our papers. Every time I write an email, I still think of Mr. Walker writing, make sure that's not trite. Don't use qualifiers in your speech. I've had great mentors, I've had a great volunteer, I've seen volunteers when we built the last stadium 20 years ago. The values that were instilled in me by my parents were also,
3 minutes, Bruce.
okay, I learned through I got it, okay, I'll listen. I'm here to give back to Somerset School District, and I want to pay it forward as a board member. Thank you.
Thank you. Alicia, I apologize, I skipped roll call, so you can just make note that we're all good.
Gotcha, all good.
Okay, moving on to the review of district academic and career planning plan. I will welcome up Kelly and Kate and Sarah.
You brought a clicker. Do you want to use it?
You can. You got a little for us?
I do.
If it doesn't work, I'm more than happy to assist.
Right there. Right here.
Oh, look.
I don't think it clicks on the link, so.
No, it won't.
Don't click on the
Oh, we
link.
don't need to.
All right, I feel like that's a lot to follow, but we'll try. Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly Emerson. I am a family consumer science teacher, and I'm also our work-based learning coordinator at the high school.
I'm Sarah Stobig. I'm one of the high school counselors.
Kate Rorabeck, one of the middle school counselors.
And we're here today to talk about with you about Education for Employment, or E4E plan at Somerset School District, as well as really deep dive into our academic and career planning.
I know how to use it, right? There you go.
All right, so what is Education for Employment? So this is the district's plan that has to be approved annually. And this is something that looks at and addresses our local, regional, state, and labor markets. And then it also looks at we really deep dive into the education and training for occupations that will fill our local labor market needs. And so the big piece of that we really focus on at the middle school, high school is the academic and career planning piece, and how we deliver that to our students, and also how we involve our families and get the community involved, the businesses, and then our staff itself. So this is our current team as of right now. We just did a lot of revamping with our team, and so we're really looking to build it. As you can see, we're really strong middle, high school, looking to bring in more community members as we move forward and kind of really build on this coming back off of COVID. This is kind of been one of the later things that have kind of come back together. So when we look at Education for Employment, that covers, which I forgot to say at the beginning, kind of covers K through 12. Where academic and career planning, what we're talking about in that state mandated portion of it is a 6-12 focus. So
Which
that's-
is the bulk.
So
just some St. Croix County labor market statistics. So St. Croix County is the third fastest growing county in Wisconsin. It's also the 16th youngest county in the state with a median age of 39.7. Something unique to St. Croix County is the amount of commuting workers. So over half of the county crosses into Minnesota to work, but then chooses to come here to live. In 2020, the county lost almost 1,400 jobs, primarily due to the pandemic. But as of October of 21, there was a 1.9% unemployment rate, which is an incredibly low unemployment rate. The largest employment sectors that we have in the county are trade, transportation, and utilities as number one, and number two being manufacturing, which would be the largest in terms of payroll.
What's ACP? Academic and Career Planning. Some of you know what's my jam. One of them. So ACP is a means to foster engagement with our kids, to make things relevant for them. When we look at their passions, curiosities, interests, abilities, and skills, and match that to potential career interests, we find that that's really engaging and makes things a little bit more relevant. And of course, if we all do it, then it's way more relevant. So it's owned by all, and I say educators, but it's also community people, you know. We typically, since I've been here, have infused it as part of the strategic plan. There was a lot of talk at the community. I mean, when I had the strategic plan meeting this week, or this last Monday, there was a lot of talk, even without me doing it. So, you know, about what we need for our kids and their career passions. It's a process, ongoing, evolving. We do have an online portfolio that's given to us by GPI, so we're not paying for it. We used to have to pay for it. It's not bad, it's called Zello, weird name, but we honor all post-secondary roots. This is a kind of a CISA thing. It's all work is noble, okay? And I tell the kids, when I speak with all the middle school kids, I say, when I talk college, do not ever say Mrs. Robick said college was 4 years. It's any post-secondary education, student-driven and adult-supported. So at the middle school, why plan? Little tongue-in-cheek parents. Okay, and then can you scroll down? There's a video at the bottom of that. I think that's the only way I could do the link.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, if you need anything, we're just a phone call away.
Don't forget to register for classes just as soon as they open, okay?
Hey, Mom, Dad, relax. I'm gonna make the most of these 4 years in school. I have a plan. Freshman year, I'm only gonna take intro courses or easier classes. Just kind of like whatever I feel like. Definitely nothing with a writing assignment, though.
But I thought you were majoring in English.
No, that's just gonna be my first major. Sophomore year, I plan on changing it like at least 3 more times. And eventually, I'm just gonna choose the one that I have the most number of credits in and has the least number of classes before noon. Which actually won't even make much of a difference anyway, because I won't be going all that much.
You won't be going to classes?
Academics aren't necessarily gonna be my focus, if you know what I mean.
Your mother and I think that you should have a more well-rounded experience than just partying.
No, of course, Dad. I'm on top of it. Junior year, I'm gonna study abroad in a foreign country that is rich with culture. But I'm only gonna hang out with other Americans. Mom, come on. Senior year, I'm gonna turn it all around. I'm gonna take a summer course, I'll change my major one more time, and then maybe I'll have enough credits to almost graduate on time. Almost.
Well, as long as you graduate with a plan, that's all that matters.
Well, after graduation, I'm gonna realize that the real world and trying to find a job where I can pay off tens of thousands of dollars in student debt is just way too scary. So I'm gonna go into grad school, I'm gonna hide out there for a couple of years, and that's where I'm really gonna rack up the debt. Like, rack it up, you guys. I am so excited for my future. Rack up job options, not work debt, and maybe save your parents some money. Enter college with a real career plan, and go to selfdirectedsearch.com.
So, at the middle school, why plan? Our program, our 5-8 program, is, takes a look at all the E4E standards that DPI wants us to look at. I talk about the College Board standards. The College Board actually has, again, not just for you, actually has 8 things that they want by 8th grade kids to know, or kids to do, kids to experience. And we do look at that, and school counseling, of course, has standards. Pretty much matches the College Board standards, and we look at the economic development in our area too, as far as hot jobs. So why plan? Chance? I don't know if anybody ever read this book, but I really liked it. Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights. Actually, I listened to it about 4 times. So, opportunities that just happen or that are planned, and taking them to create good futures, to create exceptional futures. So find another CISA thing, find a job you love and you never have to work a day in your life. No, it's actually a Kate thing. No, Mark Anthony. Okay, so this is what we do at the middle school. So we do a lot of this stuff. We do, Zello has all these inventories. We do inventories on Zello, and it creates a portfolio and it saves everything. So we look at career clusters, which I have linked, and I won't tire you with them. But now the nation goes by, they put careers into categories, 16 categories there is now. In my career, there's 4, 8, 6, 16, 12, whatever. Now it's been 16 for about 10 years. So the categories are, for example, like IT and healthcare and that kind of stuff, okay? And then, so we do look at their academic skills. Every year we want the kids to know, how do you get the grades you want to get? And what skills what works for you? Okay, so we deal with that. Parent, teachers, and advisors can get these reports from Zello, so they can look at it and be familiarized with their student list, and they can even get it on student lists. So, they can say, hey, Joey, looks like you're interested in STEM, yeah, okay. Then, again, high demand jobs, I emphasize that so they know. Zello doesn't do that as well as what I'd like to see, but I'm working with them on that. We want them to be aware of work values. What do you want in a job? Risk, adventure, aesthetics, what kind of things, and work skills. And at the middle school, every single advisory teacher works with the kids on employability skills via Top 20. It's all employability skills, thinking, learning, and communicating better. What better? And also, we hone in on star qualities big time, and that's a big Top 20 theme. What makes you special? What makes you be able to do what you might want to do? And then high school transition planning. We work with that for 8th graders. So then we have a capstone class for 8th grade, which I teach. And we look at the 6 most important decisions you'll ever make by Sean Covey. It's a high school transition book. And then we capitalize on career speakers too, with the folks on Somerset grads. I've created LinkedIn lists of Somerset grads, and I keep trying to do that more and more. And then we end up with the CAPS portfolio, which I just want to just brief you on. It's a hyperlinked document that they can link into, that we do link into Zello. And it's just got all the things. It's got, the college readiness components. Voice Finder is activity in the book about passions and curiosities, academic skills. Then some career research, work values, work skills, all linked, personality, theory, we talk about that with the kids, and University of Wisconsin system. We have Northwoods College come in and talk, and then we have the freshman planning stuff linked. So, yeah. So that's kind of encapsulated all the things. And then what next? Well, we're kind of regrouping, as Kelly said, from COVID. We did have career summits held, 3 years maybe in a row. But we had Somerset grads have a big panel, It was a half day, and then we had breakout sessions. And so we haven't done that since COVID. Hope to bring it back. It was really fun. I love working with the Somerset grads. More continuous parent and community outreach is what we're looking at. And so, do you have any questions for the middle school? ACP stuff.
Wrong way. There we go.
I did it too.
Okay, ACP in the high school looks a little different, right? So kind of right off the bat, students get college admission visits and military recruiter visits. It's usually monthly. Every other month we'll have a college. Some branch of the military will come during lunchtime and just kind of be available for any student that wants to connect with them. We also do career exploration activities through advisory. We have used Zello as well. We've also put some other stuff together. In the counseling office, we do career meetings with students. So I linked up there some of the ones that I personally use with students. They're very similar to what the inventories through Zello come out with. But sometimes students just want to kind of redo it once they're a few more years into school. Junior conferencing is another big component of ACP at the high school, which is, so all juniors and their families are invited to attend a junior conference where we talk through kind of what's left of high school and what comes after high school, and just kind of setting up so senior year gets them in the direction of their plans. We talk a lot about mindful course selection based on whatever their future career path is, in terms of not picking an elective just because your friend's picking that elective, but making sure that you're getting a good variety and it's relating to the things that you would like to do. We have ECCP and Start College Now, as well as college in the school courses. For students that are thinking they're more college bound, they can start getting some college credit in the high school. As well as with Start College Now, it's kind of neat because Northwoods offers some classes that we don't. So for example, like automotive classes, we'll have students that want to go to Northwood and take those classes just to kind of already start getting some of that under their belt as well. And we have AP classes, so again, for students that are more in the college-bound direction, AP is another way for them to potentially earn some college credit.
Along with that, we have the current technical ed program, so between tech ed, business, and then family consumer, we offer a variety of transcripted credit classes, so they're articulated with Northwood. So when students leave our classes, they leave with college credit, just like taking college in the schools through the U of M. And then tech ed and business also offer a variety of project midway classes in which kids have the opportunity to earn college credit as well. Our work-based learning program over, I would say, the last 5-6 years has really grown. And I would say when I started it, gosh, I should have looked, but it's been 5 or 6 years now. And we probably, the first semester we ran supervised work experience, I bet we had 15 kids. And this semester, I think I have at least 45. Last year, I think I was up like 50-ish, second semester, 55. And then we've also brought on a youth apprenticeship program through the state of Wisconsin and Department of Workforce Development. And students have the opportunity to have a mentor at their job site, and they are a youth apprentice. And so they're going through a checklist of skills, and by the time they're done working there, they earn a certificate from the state. They have an opportunity to get a scholarship from us when they graduate, which all comes funded through a grant. And then they also have some other bonuses, like they can get some money to put towards some new work clothes or work tools or things like that. We have a job shadowing course in which I'm super passionate that I believe every student before they leave our building should be required to do job shadowing. I think that they don't know what they don't know, and so they think that they want to leave and be a doctor, and you go to a university, and I mean, I lived it, you don't touch really your core classes until you're in your 3rd year, and by that time you've put so much money in, and how great would it be if I could have gone out and seen what maybe a counselor did before I, just shadowed it for a little bit. I've sent students out like, I want to be a lawyer, and so they went and shadowed a lawyer. They came back and they're like, I don't want to be a lawyer, right? So to be able to get that to them and offer that while they're here before they head out and invest all this time and money, and maybe just to help them. Maybe they have a couple of ideas, so what a great opportunity. So we have a lot of awesome things happening at the high school.
So kind of what's next in terms of high school and district. So we would again love to see ACP included on the upcoming strategic plan. Both Kate and Kelly are on that focus group, right? So, and like Kate said, it came up from more voices than just their own. Recruiting more staff and community members to be part of our committee. We're kind of revamping right after COVID. It was an, I don't want to say easy thing to get set to the side, right? But like priority, that was not the priority. So we're kind of revamping it and would love to bring in some community members specifically. And then continuing to document like community context that we have. We have a lot of great, you know, manufacturing being one of the highest areas in our county. We have a lot of great ones right here. So just kind of building up some of those contexts as well.
Something we started a couple of years ago was we have a hope of bringing on a graduation portfolio for our students to graduate Somerset High School, having a portfolio that they can showcase the beautiful, amazing things that they've done over their 4 years. We know a lot of stuff depends on test scores, but our kids are more than test scores. And so we would really like to try to bring in a portfolio in which they maybe are, you know, we've talked about doing exit interviews with community members before they leave our building, and so that they can showcase that and they can take it with them as they apply to jobs or colleges or whatnot. We're hoping to eventually get to a point where some sort of job shadowing might be a requirement of graduating Somerset High School. And then last but not least, career fairs. We've done a little bit before COVID, and then COVID hit and we didn't really have it. But it's a great opportunity to get businesses into our building, but then also to be able to show our students, these are some jobs that you could do this summer. So hopefully helping out our business, but then also growing an opportunity for kids. So, any questions you have for us about academic and career planning? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Great information, thank you.
The E4E has to be approved by you, so that document has to be, yeah. Well, thanks.
On our next.
I probably left those things in so many computers.
No, not this time.
Right, you know a deer around.
Thank you. So what's it? 100.
Okay, moving on to our fall 23 course request presentation are we calling in Sarah?
So I'm here instead.
Oh, perfect.
So I
Awesome.
told
Don't
Sarah
roll.
that, yeah, I told Sarah since I had to come here, I would just bring the binder with me.
Perfect.
So yeah, presenting the ECCP Start College Now binder. So all of our student applications are in here. We had 29 students apply for one or the other program. We added to the memo that's linked up there, and then it's also, we printed it on here, we added the cost per credit, because I believe that comes up every semester. So just the cost per whatever school. We have the list of courses also linked as well. So through the state of Wisconsin, we are able to deny courses where we have a similar class offering at the high school. So we are asking it be approved as it's presented. We do have 2 students that we have requested special exceptions for. So students that have exhausted their options at the high school in some subject area and are looking to continue at the college level. So those are noted up there as well. Yeah, any questions, ECCP, Start College Now related?
I have just one, and I think this, I
Yeah.
just want to maybe re-emphasize or re-ask it from the previous time. You can deny a request if we offer a similar.
Correct.
But otherwise, we cannot deny a request.
I think,
correct?
yes. Yep,
Because
so
of
like
our-
we deny, for example, developmental psychology because we offer CIS psychology, but even if we don't have a college level class, so intro to sociology, we offer sociology. It's not college credit, but we do still have the class, so then we can deny that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they've already taken sociology here.
Then they have to exhaust the social studies, like all of the social studies classes we have.
Okay.
So like one of the special requests, we have a student that has taken every English, like this year is currently in the CIS Literature and Writing Studio courses, and still has 1 more year of school with us. So he will then wants to do some English classes at the college level. Any other questions I can answer, clarifications? So all the applications we went through and we marked, and then we highlighted where the signatures need to be. Can I give this to you?
Sure.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, continuing to move on to our superintendent update.
All right. Thanks you 3 for your presentation. Appreciate it.
Yeah, a couple things. Sorry, my table's uneven here. A couple things. So I've attached our 23-24 CISA contract. We bring this before the board annually. Take a look at it tonight. We would need to bring it back at our next meeting for your official approval. As an admin team, we go through this every year. We've actually scaled back quite a bit over the last couple of years, which for lots of reasons has been probably helpful. Most heavily utilized by pupil services and then our curriculum and assessment department as well. You know, great partnership with CISA, lots of great opportunities, professional development, some services and things like that. But you can take a look. Obviously, if you have questions, let me know. Pretty basic. We didn't, I anticipated potentially removing one service that at the end of the day we decided to keep, but otherwise looks very similar to our contract for the last couple of years. So if you have questions, let me know. Want to give an update on our strategic plan community stakeholder meeting that we held last week. It was fantastic. Very thankful for the turnout that we had. We had over 50 people attend. The facilitators, Partner Ed, that we're working with said normally they see about 20% of people that say they're coming actually don't show up. So she was quite impressed at the turnout. Great conversations, really diverse group from Lori and Lacey were there representing the board, which was great. Parents, we had students who were phenomenal. Staff members, community members, business owners, and really going through between this meeting and the next meeting a pretty robust process of thinking about, again, where our district's been, where are we now, where do we want it to be in 3 to 5 years, what are our strengths currently, what are some areas that we want to talk about focusing, and then through all of that, start to develop some themes that will guide our new strategic plan. I want to encourage people, I did send out a community survey that was available through Facebook. We do have hard paper copies here as well that I encourage anyone in the community to fill out. We have about 80 responses so far. That closes April 15th, but again, Partner Ed will use that information too as we figure out to start to develop some themes. So anyone who would like a voice or a thumbprint as a part of that strategic plan, I really encourage people to take a look at that. I did also attach here a food request memo for those 2 meetings. So one we've already held, obviously, and then we have another one coming up in May. So go ahead and read that. If you have questions, let me know. That's something I would bring back then for the April meeting. It was about $200, it's $200 and some change for the meal that we provided for the meeting attendees last week. I anticipate it would be about that same amount for our next meeting as well. So if you have questions about that, let me know, but obviously I'll bring that back for further recommendation or further discussion. I'll kind of stop there. Any questions about the strategic plan process? I don't know, Lacey or Lori, if you have any comments about.
I just would reemphasize what you said. It was really neat to see the diverse group, and I think a shout out for people for taking the time to join, because it wasn't a short night on Monday, but for parents and teachers and community members who took the time to come, there was some great discussion, and it's a neat process.
Great. And the last thing I had was just reminder one more time of the referendum vote tomorrow. In the last week, I've been putting out some additional videos and such on Facebook just for some added information, kind of quick short little bursts regarding each of the projects on the vote. If you have any last minute questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, visit our website. Lots of places to make sure that you have all the information that you need so people can go to the polls informed. So just reminding people to vote. Those are the 3 big things that I had. Thanks.
Where was the link available for the strategic planning?
So it's on our district Facebook page. It's also on our website. If you go to the front page of our district website. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to policy review, there's 2 policies that are there. First one, I believe we all have a copy in front of us as well. Shannon brought this up at the last meeting briefly. Do you want to speak to that at all, Shannon?
Yeah, so I can just start with 0166. And to be clear, I'm not convinced that there needs to be any change. This was really just something I wanted to bring up. I had a couple people ask me about just the agenda
And me wanting to just clarify from the board what your preference is in terms of ensuring by Wednesday at 3 o'clock, the week before the meeting, when the initial draft of the agenda goes out, if there have been some things, as I kind of said last meeting, that I've intentionally kept off in order to wait until a public presentation. But I also know then that means that as a board, you're not able to view reports and things like that ahead of time. So I'm okay either way. I just kind of took it upon myself to pull some of those things off. If you prefer, like, nope, if it's going to be talked about at the board and there's a presentation, let's put that on there. Great. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the information you need to feel like you're coming to the meetings prepared. But that was a little bit of the why as to why I've kept a few things off until some of the reports have been talked about publicly, if that makes sense. So not a huge deal, but enough that I wanted to make sure I brought it up. So any insight or preference that or thoughts you have would be great.
The way this is written, this would require that everything be attached, correct?
Yep, yep.
And I prefer having the information ahead of time.
Right. Yep.
I agree, I would as well. I think, even understanding that there's some presentations that maybe we don't have all the context, I still would like to see it ahead of time.
Sure.
It's on the agenda so that I can at least form some thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there a way even with some of those, if it's a presentation that specific things like, okay, you wanna wait? I mean, to give the presentation with what can be presented and maybe even put a slide or something like more to come at the.
Yeah, and I think we probably can just do an all or nothing too, which again,
Yeah.
like, great. I wanna make sure you guys have what you need, and I think maybe if there's, one thought I had, if there's a presentation or report or something, I could certainly send the board a message ahead of time of just, there may be some information that'll need further clarification, those kinds of things, which is super easy. And that all makes sense. I think it's great. If anybody has any different feeling than what Matt and Lori have presented, it sounds like we can just make sure everything's linked, and we'll proceed that way.
Yeah, because then the two, we can look out ahead and we're not
Yeah. Okay.
looking for.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, good news. That was done. Okay. So the other one I put on here, wanted to just get, kind of board interpretation of policy 0167.3 regarding public comment. So the way that you have the paper copy, if you go on the second page, so this has come up, the last two meetings at public comment, where attendees that have been speaking have then continued speaking past their 3 minutes by someone else kind of passing on their time, okay? So I want you to look at letter F, because I think it's important that we're all interpreting what this policy says the same way. Frankly, it makes no difference to me. I just want to make sure as a board that we're approaching this the same. So if you look at letter F, it states no participant may speak more than once on the same topic. So I wanted to engage in some dialogue with the board regarding, how as a board we interpret that. I frankly had just never seen it before, which is why it came to my head of just wanting to have a discussion about it. I'm not indicating good, bad, or otherwise. I just want to make sure that we're consistent and following kind of in line with what the policy indicates, although it's not explicit. It doesn't exactly say in perfect black and white letters, but wanted to just get your take on it moving forward.
I agree with your interpretation, Shannon, that by taking another person's 3 minutes, a single individual is speaking more than once on the same topic.
And it doesn't put away taking somebody else's 3 minutes, but you'd have to talk about something of a different topic.
Oh, a person could speak more than once if it's different topics.
Well, you had brought it up, I think, 2 times, but now it's kind of, it hasn't happened every meeting, but it's happening, and I think we just need to be consistent on how.
So by following this, just an example, Roxanne and Jay, you wouldn't be able to give this time to let her keep going, or Monet and Ryan the time before, that's what we're saying? That's not allowed?
If you read it, no participant may speak more than once on the same topic. That's not saying they couldn't give their time, but then it would have to be on a different topic. If it was on the referendum, you couldn't then use another 3 minutes to talk about the referendum.
But the second person could continue where they left off.
The second person.
Fair.
Yes.
But it couldn't be that
Correct.
same original
Yep.
person.
Yep.
That makes sense. Well, good thing to point out, Shannon. Are we hearing anybody doesn't want to change it? We want to leave it as stated here, to not allow people to do that?
Well, I guess that's how I would interpret it as well. I agree with Lori.
And we don't want to change this though to say you can give people the,
We should leave it how it's written.
I'm good with leaving it as is too, but that's.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be changed. I just want to make sure we're all interpreting it the same way.
No, and I just want to make sure,
Yep.
we don't want to change it, like,
Yep.
we want to leave it like it's written. And then we'll just have to make sure people are aware of that, if there is that chance it comes up. Yeah.
Yes?
good.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, moving on our agenda, looking at topics for action. The personnel update and the athletics personnel update. Is there a motion to approve these as recommended?
I'll make a motion to approve 9A and E.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our once around the table. With that, let's start at the other side. We started at one side last week. Lori, do you want to start us out?
I am good, thank you.
Okay.
Shannon already reminded everybody to vote.
Ian?
Good luck to all the candidates tomorrow.
Matt?
Available.
Yeah, I would just go out and vote, and thank you to everybody for coming up for candidates for the school board. It's a brave thing and a lot of things work to do with it too, so. And vote tomorrow. Ian?
Or Bruce.
I'm sorry, Bruce, sorry. Whoa, Bruce. Or Bruce.
Are we having, is Neola still coming here? Is there still a meeting for them, a
Yes.
policy
That's
meeting?
April 25th.
Yep.
Okay, that's the 25th. And I'm guessing the next meeting on the 17th, we're having a listening session at 5:30 then? Okay. Otherwise, nothing. Good.
Thanks, candidates, and vote, vote, vote. Only once. Vote.
What are you trying to do?
Right.
Okay, now, Marge.
Same. Nothing.
Great. Well, I got your 2 names, right? Thank you. Okay. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn into closed session of the board pursuant Wisconsin statutes, section 1985 1C, to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of a public employee over which the board has jurisdiction?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Matt got it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Okay, yes. We'll go roll call. Lori?
Yes.
Ian?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Bruce?
Yes.
Cherie?
Yes.
Marge?
Yes.
Okay. Unanimously carries, so we will now enter into closed session at 6:53.